Well, Shaun, a slight disruption in your week given the events on Tuesday night, obviously the abandonment of the game at Accrington. Just give us a bit of an idea of how you managed to turn that week around and what the schedule now looks like.
I mean, it was a disappointment, of course, when you're travelling so far on a midweek, and all the planning that goes into it, staying in a hotel after the game as well. That was going to be the plan, follow the same look of the week as the previous one away against Yeovil, and then at 6:15 you get the phone call to say that it's called off. It was a major disappointment because we fancied our chances going there. We did. We were going there and on the back of two positive results, one in particular for the previous weekend, and we felt that we could back the result up with another positive display on Tuesday night. But listen, we know there's a problem up there with their surface, and as soon as the pictures came through, you knew the game weren't going to be played anyway. But it's just the lateness of the call was a disappointment from our angle.
Obviously touched upon the positive results in the previous two games against Yeovil at Newport. How much of a challenge, or has the challenge been to continue that momentum given the events on Tuesday night and make sure you still carry that into Saturday's game against Barnet?
I mean, we got back late Tuesday night, gave the boys the Wednesday off, and we've cracked on again today. And we've managed to get a lot of work into the boys, and look forward to the Barnet game. Accrington will take care of itself when it gets rearranged. So full focus now is on the Saturday game, and it's one that whets the appetite. It's an opponent that's very clear, very close to us. And we don't want to be, on the back foot and letting teams escape us at this moment in the season. So we have to go there with the confidence that we've managed to take over the past two games. And I know that when the boys put the minds to it, and they play to this level of performance that we all come to expect now, we know we can be a force for anybody.
Looking at this weekend's opponents, Barnet, they've certainly had an eventful season on and off the field, but nonetheless they're equipped with a handful of very good players that can certainly cause you a great deal of issues on any match day.
Absolutely, obviously a new change in manager again with Kevin Nugent. It's he's a person who I know a lot about from his time. Obviously not managing against him, but whilst he was a number two, especially under Russell Slade. So he's a great guy, a real good guy, Kevin, and it's a fantastic opportunity for him. But for his team as well, they've had one of these seasons where they've had 2 or 3 different changes at the helm, and they've still continually done well. So we know that in terms of the players there, they're pretty resilient themselves, and that's testament to them as individuals. We know they've got a lot of pace and power, good players at the helm, and we know we're going to have to be on top of our game. But I fancy that we'll go there and perform.
A bit of blow heading into the weekend. Obviously, the news this week from the treatment room regarding Uche Ekpedia wasn't a good one. Initially thought it was going to be 10 days following that hamstring injury at Yeovil, but it's turned out to be a little bit longer now. Yeah,
a bit of blow for Uche himself. Whenever anybody gets injured, first thoughts are always with the player. But for us as a football club, and for the impact that Uche's had for us, to lose him for 8 weeks is a huge blow. It's one that took us massively by surprise, and it's one that's kind of got us thinking about us as staff, us as management, and we need to sit and see if there's a trend to these injuries, because the injuries this year have been they've been bitter pills to swallow, because they've come at such important times. Key personnel, losing them at key parts of the season. But I don't think I'm alone. I'm sure I'm not when it comes to having this problem, because we know 46 games, cup games, training intensities that you have to play. You have to train like you want to play. That's my mantra anyway. But we have to look forward now to the remainder of this season and make sure that these types of situations, if we can not see them too often between now and the end of the season, it will be a benefit for us.
I guess given Uche's situation, it's important that you continue to manage Barry Corr's return in the correct manager you have over the last 3 weeks, and make sure that he's not rushed back. Obviously got the likes of Jerry, who performed very well at the weekend as well, and Ben in the wings as well, so you've still got depth there, haven't you?
Well, yeah, I mean, the depth is obviously hindered by the fact that we've not had all our most attacking, potent forward players available to us at any point in the season. So that's a big loss. But you're right, you know, when one door shuts, another one opens. You know, Jerry last weekend, I thought he played very well for the 20 minutes that he was on the pitch. And he needs to back that up with future performances. But in terms of Barry, you know, it's just because Uche is out, to rush Barry back wouldn't be the best option for us. We have to make sure he comes back, and he's, you know, when he is back and he's ready to pull on the shirt from the starting minute, that he lasts the 90 minutes and doesn't have an effect from the game. So, you know, we have to be very clever with that.
In more positive news from the treatment room, Mehdi Alisa and Greg Taylor making their way back out to the grass is certainly a positive step for both of those players.
Absolutely, you know, to have both them unavailable for the past, well, Mehdi longer than Greg Taylor, but two, pretty big players for us. You know, when Mehdi's on form and he's firing on all cylinders, you know, he's a very good player at our level. And Greg's a very dependable player in the back four, and his levels of performances when he has pulled on the shirt have been high. So, you know, by the fact that we've missed Greg and we've missed Brad Halliday, you know, we've I suppose we've kind of looked at different solutions in the back four, and you know, we've got a young player in Leon Davis who's fantastically come out of the youth team and played admirably. He's I think his levels have been really high, so I'm pleased for him. But to have our senior pros back and them available between now and the end of the season is probably going to be, I suppose, the key point on what the remainder of the season is going to hold for us.